Welcome to Glasgow. It's day 5 of the COP26 meeting and I'm Sylvia Knight from the Royal Meteorological Society. Yesterday's highlights included an announcement from the UK that all companies will be made to show how they are going to reduce their greenhouse gas emissions towards net zero. I'm standing in the blue zone in the space set aside for different countries to showcase their actions and concerns. This is a Japanese pavilion. Today at COP, we're expecting the United Nations Environment Programme, UNEP, to launch their Adaptation Gap Report. This will show how well the world is currently doing at preparing for the impacts of a changing climate. In another event, Teach the Teacher, which is an international youth-led campaign that aims to bring students into schools to talk to their educators about climate change, they're going to be delivering that to the Permanent Secretary of the UK's Department of Education. And that's going to be live streamed to up to 10,000 schools, maybe yours is one of them. But today's main focus is on energy. In the light of recent rapid rises in global gas prices and our own local issues with rising energy costs and fuel distribution issues, it'll be interesting to see what impact there will be on countries' willingness to pledge reductions. Is there a growing awareness of the fragility of a global energy market based on fossil fuels? The Glasgow Breakthrough Agenda has been launched at the meeting and signed by a lot of countries. Its aims include making clean power the most affordable and reliable option for all countries by 2030. This is important because it means that no one would want to build new coal, oil or gas-fired power stations. Another aim is making zero-emission vehicles a new normal and accessible, affordable and sustainable option by 2030. To be truly zero-emission, they need to be powered by electricity, which is generated using renewable sources, or using hydrogen as a fuel, like this ambulance. Another aim is making near-zero emission steel established and growing in every region by 2030. Making steel uses a huge amount of energy, but we rely on it for buildings, transport and a whole load of other industries. Taking the greenhouse gases out of steel production will not be easy, but it's very important. The final aim is making low-carbon hydrogen affordable globally by 2030. Hydrogen can be used for powering vehicles, for generating electricity and even heating our homes, and as long as it's produced using renewable energy sources, then it has no impact on our climate or the quality of the air we breathe. Every year, countries supply COP with an updated greenhouse gas inventory, covering emissions and removals of greenhouse gases from 5 sectors, which are energy for power, heating and transport, industrial processes like steel and cement production, agriculture, land use, forestry and waste treatment. When you think about those 5 sectors and how they cover almost every aspect of our lives, you begin to realise how challenging dealing with climate change is going to be, but also how exciting the next few decades could be as we change the way we do almost everything to live in a less polluting and also hopefully fairer world. As well as the greenhouse gas inventories, the Paris Agreement introduced nationally determined contributions, NDCs. NDCs summarise the efforts by each country to reduce their national emissions of greenhouse gases and to adapt to the impacts of climate change. Every party that signed the Paris Agreement is required to prepare, communicate and maintain NDCs. They're a sort of homework exercise for all the countries who signed the Paris Agreement. By looking at all the NDCs submitted, scientists can see whether the world as a whole is on track to meet the goals of the Paris Agreement. Many countries have made tremendous progress over the last 12 months, both in putting together NDCs for the first time and in improving their targets. However, the current pledges will lead to around 2.7 degrees of warming by 2100, and some key countries failed to submit NDCs before COP26. What makes countries pledge to reduce their emissions? Partly it's peer pressure from the other delegations who are here at the meeting. However, mostly it's political pressure from the people in their country, and that's where we all, as individuals, can play an important part by adding our voices to those of others calling for governments to do more.